We are here, NCHA Harris Cup Championship game, post-game interview. Coach Cogs, if you could open up with an opening statement, please.
Another sort of classic battle between these two programs. Every single game that we ever play against Adrian in the history of the two being opponents, the game always has consequence. It always matters. I think our fan bases know that. I know our administrations know that, and I certainly know the guys in the room know that. I was having a nice little pleasant chat with President Docking pregame today, and again, just amazing to see what's transpired here. So we thought this game was going to come down to sort of a battle of the wills. We know exactly who they are and how they score, and they're a very offensively high-powered group. They can kind of they're a little bit. They remind me of an old school matchup in the NCHA because they can kind of play it any way you want. You want to be bruiser, basher, they can play that game. You want to play fast skill, they can play that game. You want to be a special teams battle, they can play that game. I mean, Adam has done an outstanding job building this program to where they are today. National champions in 22, overtime loss in the national championship game a year ago. A lot of veteran players that have a lot of big game experience. So we talked about that, collectively, and we knew coming in here that we had to play with the lead, and that special teams would be a factor. And those two things are absolutely true. And, of course, you need goaltending to win at any level, in any kind of high level. And that was also true. So power play went 2 for 2 to start the game. We obviously had some timely goal scoring there. To keep their power play off the score sheet was going to be important. And then, obviously, you saw Garbs had to make some big saves down the stretch.
Adam, if you could talk through 2 for 2 on that power play today. Your goal eventually ended up being a game winner. That second period in the special teams, talk through that and how important it was.
We knew going into the game, like, the special team is going to be very important, and we've been doing pretty good, I could say, the whole year, and I think we just fit as a group, all 5 guys, so 10 guys, like both power play groups, and I think we got a chance and we scored.
Hunter, for yourself, 35 saves today. Talk about your performance and the defense as a whole.
Yeah, I felt I had a pretty good game, but can't do much back there unless the rest of the team's doing a lot for you. So, I mean, it's a full team effort, and I think I got support from all my defensemen, all my forwards, Jordo, Blackie, all those guys back there, and I think they were a big part of this win.
Tim, talk about how you took away that potent offensive attack for Adrian. You really took away the neutral zone on that team, the cross ice breakout they like to have into free space. Really no time and space at all for the Bulldogs throughout the night.
Yeah, the only thing was we just talk about numbers and colors, and if you talk about numbers and colors and you see who's coming at you and you keep bodies in front of you, which is always, particularly in the second period because they like to play long in the second period, they play a very good schematic, sound game, and they hit you with speed at the line, and all you can do is try to match pace and try to make sure you've got numbers at the same spot. So when you get strung out, which we've done against them in the past, where we over pursue with F1 or F2, and then they seam you, through the neutral zone, and then they find the next layer. They jump and they go. Their core adds value. If you turn one over, and you saw late in the game, they were adding numbers into the mix, and we had 2 breakaway situation opportunity, including a 2-on-0 with Stocco and Frage, and we dinged a pipe, right? And then we hit another pipe, like we hit a cut. So when they add layers like that and you can transition pucks, that's when you have to make them pay. We didn't in those scenarios, but what we did for the majority of the game was we did keep numbers and colors in front of us.
A little bit more on the specials. You mentioned 2 for 2 tonight. They were 0 for 3 looking at the postseason here thus far. Green Knights up over 40% right now on the power play throughout the Harris Cup Championship. You did not give up a power play goal the other way. Talk about the trend of that even throughout the second half of the season and how you've turned around those PK numbers in particular.
Well, yeah. Taco said it when he said that we've got a group of guys who assimilate well. They play together well. It's a top line. It's Dayton Deeks. It's adding another forward into that conversation with Carter Hopman as a face-off stick. I mean, it's been an ongoing process. Coach Petey handles the power play, penalty kill specials situation. He handles all the video with those guys, and he's done a great job. The adaptation adjustments that we've been able to make have shown rewards. And I think that a lot of the credit in that goes to PD, certainly goes to the guys making the plays. As far as the PK number goes, you know, I think our PK number is skewed in a negative light from the first half of the season. And at that point, we hadn't said, Hunter Garvey, you're our starting goaltender. I think when you look at Hunter Garvey's numbers and you look at our PK numbers when he's in net, it shows a very different picture. So we're not concerned about what people read in the metrics going into a game. We are concerned with going 1-for-1, both on the power play and on the penalty kill. That's all. We just talk about being 1-for-1 mentality. And in all those cases, those things happen today.
Hunter, all tournament goaltender, MVP of the tournament coming into this, or following this game here tonight. How did you prepare? You got a chance to learn a little bit about Adrian. You faced him twice about a month ago. What did you know about this team coming in that that you were thinking about as you stood between the pipes?
Yeah, I mean, I knew they loved to get a lot of shots on transition. Like usually they'd come in, you know, pass one back to a guy trailing late. But I figured they're a high offense team, so, you know, come in as prepared as possible and practice hard for the whole week, and then hopefully just let the chips fall where they do.
Coach, I want to ask you, this is a much younger roster for you. You started out the season 3-3 and really did what you did in the second half. Talk about the locker room and the guys you have in there, and specifically this playoff run, how things have built up and the confidence in your unit.
Yeah, you know, people are seeing it materialize from the outside. We have seen it materialize from the inside. There's been very few games where we've been disappointed with our play, including just a couple weeks ago when we had Adrian at our place and we got beat 3-1 or 4-1 with an empty net, whatever it was. We played very well. I think we outchanced and outshot them on that game. We didn't get the result. So there's been very few games this year where we've been disappointed. Yes, we're counting on a lot of young guys. I think 8 young guys are playing, including a starting goaltender, which we've seen this before. In 2011, we won our second ever national championship, and we had 11 seniors on that team. And in 2012, the group that rolled through the door, including David Jacobson, freshman goaltender, we made the change to David about Christmas time. We were 7-4 at the time, made the change to David Jacobson, and then we took that young group and we went back-to-back national champions. So there's a precedent set. I mean, we know that within our program. We like our group. They've been a fun group to coach. Again, go back to Coach Petey and identifying the roster, the recruiting roster that we have been able to secure here. There's a bright future for this group, and the fact that we're gaining experience in circumstances that are daunting like this they're impressive. It's impressive to see it. And again, we've lived through it in different times. This is just another example of, you know, be who you are and play the way you play and let the chips fall where they may. And that's kind of what we're doing.
Adam, you took a slash to the back of the leg, it looked like, right?
Spear, but yeah.
Yeah, at the end of the first period. Did that impact your game the rest of the day at all? Obviously, you went on to score a goal and have an assist in the second. How are you feeling?
I don't think that didn't really impact the game. I mean, it is what it is. I can't really do anything, can't do much, just focus on next period, and yeah, I don't think, no.
Last question I have for you, Adam. Talk through the third period, being up 3-1, being a senior and a leader on this team, to talk through some of the younger guys to hold on and to keep the pressure on to get to the end to hoist that trophy and not settle in.
It's been a long season. It's been a pretty good season where we've been through this a lot going into the third period with the lead, where we learn how to play and what to do, and I think we have been pretty good the whole season going into this, and we just play our game.
Yeah.